All right, I'm back in the studio. It has been a minute, but we are back in the studio. It is, well, I thought I'd better get back into the studio because it is exactly 1 month till Christmas Day as of today. It is the 25th of November, and it's been a little bit too long since I hung out with you guys officially in the studio. We've had lots of things changing and happening along the way, but I have been a little bit quiet. I've had lots of good excuses and reasons why I've been a little bit quiet. But it's really good to be with you guys. It's really good to start going live again because we've got a little bit to talk about, and tonight is no exception. So what I really wanted to chat with you guys about tonight is a theme that I have been seeing coming through from our online community, which is of course our Facebook community. So we've got our Budget's Healthy Kitchen family, or BAK family, private community, and there's been a bit of chatter. I also do live nutritional one-on-ones with people, so nutritional sessions with people, and it's a very similar theme that I've been seeing coming through in the last couple of days, especially as we inch ever so closer to Christmas Day. And with exactly a month to go, what a great time to have a bit of a chat about the strategies, right? The things that we can do starting now that will actually put us into a slightly better position come Christmas Day, because we're only, 30 odd days away from it being Christmas Day. And I'm not sure about you, but I know me personally, I like to look good. I like to feel good. There's certain outfits that I plan to wear comes Christmas Day, and we have got a community of family coming over from different parts of the world to spend Christmas with us, a Christmas season, New Year's, and there's also a certain chef is having a certain birthday as well in between Christmas and New Year's. So we've got a lot of things happening, and because there's just so many things happening, I just wanted to make sure that we have a bit of chat because there's still time, I guess, is my my key message to you guys, is there is still time. If you're feeling slightly overwhelmed, it's another theme I've heard come through a lot in the last couple of days of people saying to me that they're just feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Christmas is snuck up on them, and I get it. Even though we know exactly when Christmas and New Year's is every single year, it still manages to feel like it's actually snuck up on us and we weren't prepared, right? Because life just gets busier and we've got more and more commitments, we've got more and more things happening. So the Christmas time and we're like, I wasn't quite ready. So what can we do? Because the last things that we want to do is actually be so busy in the next month that we feel that we're in a slightly disadvantaged position come Christmas Day. So yeah, there are things that we can do, right? There are things that we can do right now. And I've got 5 strategies for you guys, by the way. 5 strategies are the things that we can do right now that's going to improve how we feel about ourselves come Christmas Day. Even if weight loss is not your goal, it could be health gain that's your goal. And if health gain is your goal, we can feel better, right? We can feel better emotionally. We can feel better mood-wise. We can balance our hormones better. We can, of course, look better and be in a better place that when we are that person who's looking in the mirror, we actually like what we see staring back at us. So 5 strategies for you guys. But before we get into those strategies, Mindy was just saying sneaks up every year, right? Every single year. I'm just like, I wasn't prepared for Christmas. And if you're wondering whether I've done Christmas shopping, it's a big no. I haven't started, haven't thought about it. For me, I'm just like, hey, it's still November. And then I looked down at the date today and I turned my computer on. I was like, oh my goodness, we're a month out. So it's time we started having a bit of a chat. Also, I'd like to say good evening to the beautiful Ruth who's joining us live. If you are joining me live on Facebook or on YouTube, yes, this is streaming on YouTube, say hi. Let me know what you're thinking. Like I said, I'm back in my studio, which means I have a really good access to our comment section now. Amazing how things can improve, right? When you get a bit organized. So what are these 5 strategies that I'm talking about? 5 things that we can do right now that we can start to implement. I did actually do a video on this morning. I wanted to lean back into it because I realized it's a really important topic. So we don't feel overwhelmed, as we get closer to that Christmas moment. So 5 strategies. The number one strategy, number one thing you can do always when it comes to your health and your weight is to take care of your nutrition. So nutrition will always be the number one strategy. Often I meet with people, like virtually, we do our one-on-ones together. And one of my main comments to people is, you're just not eating enough food. So we'll go through someone's food diary, and often that would be my first thought, is that when you are eating, you're eating a little bit, so your body's potentially feeling like it's in starvation mode, so you're holding on to weight, you're holding on to inflammation. But when someone does eat, what I do find that they are eating often is they're eating quite nutrient deficient foods. So eating foods, number one strategy that's going to help you to lose weight before Christmas is, number one, eat the right foods, and number two, make sure you're eating enough. Because when you're actually eating food that is medicine, when you're eating food that is nutrient dense, when you're eating food that is good for your gut, it's really hard to overeat those foods. Really easy to overeat the foods that are less filling, that are less good for us. And of course, I'm talking about that processed stuff. But when you're eating nutrients, your body knows how to shut itself off. It's really hard. Think about it. When's the last time you sat down to a steak dinner and you overate? You had 2 plates of steak dinners. Like, it doesn't happen, right? But when's the last time you sat down to a packet of chips, a whole packet, or a whole block of chocolate? It's really easy to overeat those foods. So when you're eating nutrient dense, number one strategy, when you're eating nutrient dense, you are able to eat until you are full. You don't have to feel like you're being naughty, or you're eating out of guilt, because your body doesn't crave sugar. Your body doesn't crave potato chips. It doesn't crave cheeseburgers. Your body craves nutrients, and it's hard to overeat the right nutrients. So how do you get these nutrients into you? Like, what is, like, you're going, fine, that's really great, Bridge. Thanks for telling me that I need nutrients, but what do these nutrients look like? Look, I'm going to just lay it on the line for you guys, and this is as much of a blatant plug that you will possibly ever experience from me. Come join me on Boost Camp. Honestly, like, if there's one thing you do for yourself over the next 28 days or 30 days, is come join Boost Camp. Because in Boost Camp, I teach you what the right nutrients are, so you don't have to guess. It's actually not my opinion. Boost Camp's not my opinion. Boost Camp is backed by solid science. So, as I call myself a nutritional scientist, like, I'm not officially a scientist, but when I look at food, when I create recipes, when I create meal plans, I do it with a scientific hat on. I do it not based on my opinion, not based on old research. I'm not looking at diets from 1970 and trying to replicate that. I'm not looking at the Atkins diet or the South Beach diet. I'm taking the latest research that we have, scientific research when it comes to nutritional science, and I implement these strategies, which is a beautiful thing. It means that Boost Camp is constantly evolving, right? It means that Boost Camp is this work in progress, as are we a work in progress. So the number one strategy that you can do is to eat the right nutrients. If you don't know what they are, come join me on Boost Camp. My job is to give you the right nutrients. My job is to take all the guesswork out of nutrition and say, look, if you do the Boost Camp, and by the way, I believe the brand new meal plan, is it moments away? It's moments away from being delivered. So the brand new meal plan for December Boost Camp, that is either just been delivered or it's about to be delivered. It has been finished. My editor was going through today and shining it up and making sure I didn't have too many spelling errors. I do that sometimes. I just type. I type and then the brain catches up and, oops, there was a few errors. So that is in the final stages of being released to anyone who's already signed up for our December Boost Camp. Of course, it is the last Boost Camp before 2025 starts. So this is our last opportunity to eat all those nutrients, because it is the number one strategy. It is the number one strategy. And it's the thing that is going to give us bang for our buck. Because when your body has the right nutrients, my goodness, you you wait and see the changes that can happen when your body is high on nutrients and not high on sugar, right? And when it's doing all the things that you want your body to do. And it's stated. It's designed to give you back time, give you your energy by eating the nutrients, but give you back time. So it's not spending hours and hours and hours in the kitchen. There's a better prep that you'll do before boost camp starts. And I give you the prep lists. And I even break down, like, do this prep 3 to 5 days out from boost camp starting. Do this prep 1 to 3 days out. So I give you a bit of advice on even how to go about your prep list. So wanting to make these express camps as quick as possible, because we're all very time poor. You know, we're because we're so busy. It's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, you know, it's even more beautiful when you're fueling your body with the right nutrients, because you're there for every moment, right? You're not missing out on all the goodness because you just feel good, and you've got the energy, and you're sleeping better, and there's just so many improvements that can be made when the number one strategy that we employ when it comes to losing weight and gaining health, and even doing it fast before Christmas, is nutrition is the most important thing that you can do, right? Nutrition. Second most important thing you can do. And this is where, for some people, you know, it can be, I want to say it's a little bit unusual, but it can be things that they're not necessarily seen as being weight loss strategies, because the traditional weight loss strategy was you got to go join a gym, right? You got to exercise like crazy, get sweat on every single day, and fingers crossed you're going to lose some weight. But actually what we now know is that exercise alone is not a great strategy for weight loss. Remember what the number one strategy is? It's nutrition every single time, right? And eating enough. If you've got a small appetite, I want to make sure that when you do eat, you're fueling yourself with the best stuff. So you're not fueling yourself with empty calories and empty nutrition or nutrient deficient foods. You're actually fueling yourself with the stuff that your body's going to use to give you the health and the weight loss that you desire. So the number two strategy, like I said, and for some people, they're just like, really? Wow, how can that be so? The number two strategy, I've talked about nutrients, but number two strategy, it's going to help to improve your chances of really getting in the next month and losing some weight, is to make sure you're eating enough protein. Often, protein is underconsumed. Like the most common macronutrient, because remember, protein is a macronutrient, the most common macronutrient that is eaten, unfortunately, are highly refined carbohydrates. I'm talking about our processed foods, right? The things from the packets and the jars and the tins and the packs and the drive-thrus and all that sort of business. So 60% of our diet is made up of processed foods, like the stuff, right? That are empty calories, the nutrient deficient stuff. It fills us up for a short amount of time, but it doesn't actually give our body the nutrients that our body so desperately needs and wants. So when we start to prioritize real food, like nutrient dense food, and one that I'm really targeting in the number two strategy is protein, what you're in fact doing is you're giving your body more of the building blocks to give you good health. You can think of protein like blocks, building blocks. And when your body is protein deficient, you're not able to build a good foundation for your body to work from. Every single cell, every single fiber in your body needs protein. Protein, unfortunately, has been quite demonized in the last decade, especially as more and more people have become a little bit opposed to animal protein and more in a line with plant-based protein. And protein has also been kind of demonized, like especially within women's circles, and within women spaces, that, you know, too much protein and you'll start looking like a man, you know, you'll build too much muscle. Look, that is just not the case. And I want us all to be really mindful of that. So protein, we all need protein. And in fact, and here's the part that is often not recognized, is that as we age, we actually need more protein. Our body needs more, because one of the processes that happens as the body ages, one of the processes that happens is that naturally and normally our muscles begin to weaken. They begin to break down. This process is known as sarcopenia, and it happens to every single one of us. So if we're not looking after our protein intake, which is there to help to keep us strong. I'm not talking about strong so you're going to go and, you know, and deadlift weights. I'm talking about not falling over, right? I'm talking about being able to right yourself if you go a little bit off balance, because your muscles are strong. You can get off the floor. You know, you don't feel absolutely wiped out by walking up one flight of steps. This is the type of strength that I'm talking about, right? Just normal everyday strength that we all need. And as we age and our muscles start to break down with aging, sarcopenia, you know, our ability to look after our muscles and our strengths, we need to really lean into that. So protein is going to help with this process. And so I always say to people, every single time you eat, you've got to be eating some type of protein. You have to prioritize it. Yes, we have to eat our plants. We know that's really important, but we also have to eat our protein. What is protein? I'm talking about all of our animal proteins. So, you know, our red meats, our poultry, our seafood, you know, those types of, you know, whether it be lamb or beef or a nice piece of lean pork, whether it be chicken thigh or chicken breast, and please don't take the skin off. Eat the skin on your chicken. There's a bit of healthy fat. You need that in there as well. But I'm also, of course, you know, talking about all our wonderful fatty fishes like our salmons and our mackerels and our sardines, you know, all those types of seafoods as well. These are all really good sources of protein. Now, yes, there are some plant-based proteins as well, but here's the thing. Our bodies get way more bang for our buck with animal-based protein. We can break it down, we can utilize that protein so much better than plant-based proteins. So we have to always be mindful of that as well. Is yes, you can get protein from plants. No, it will never be as good as your animal-based proteins, because that's how our bodies love it. Our bodies absolutely love it. So protein and prioritizing protein is not just going to help your body get what it needs, but it's also a great way to manage your weight as well, because protein makes you feel satisfied. And once again, I'll say it's really hard to overeat protein. It's really hard to eat too much steak. It's really hard to eat too much chicken. You're going to get to a certain point, you're going to be like, nah, I'm done. Push it away, I'm done, right? So protein and prioritizing protein is going to help you to feel fuller, feel more satisfied. It's also really amazing at keeping the brain constant, like focused for concentration. There are so many benefits of eating protein. Do not be afraid of it. Do not fear the protein. I always say embrace the protein, because again, when you're eating protein-rich, lean meats, fish, eggs, plant-based proteins as well, it's going to help you to feel full, right? Which is good. It's going to support your muscle maintenance as well, not just growth. And we need this during weight loss. We need to look after our muscles. So number 2 strategy, make sure you're taking care of your protein intake. Okay, number 3 strategy, again, you know, often overlooked, often kind of, and this has a lot to do with societal norms. You know, this is a lot to do with how I grew up, how I was brought up, and the type of work that I was involved in very early on in my career. And the strategy that I'm talking about that's really, really important when it comes to weight loss, weight maintenance, and health gain is managing and protecting your sleep. Now, when you're tired, let's be honest, when you're tired, and let's go one step further. When you're exhausted because you didn't sleep enough last night, maybe you woke up a few times, maybe you were uncomfortable, maybe you were hot, maybe you got up all the time to go and pee, maybe you're someone who struggles with sleep anyway. When you are tired, when you're exhausted, the chances of us, doing the things that we really want to do, that we know are the right things, those chances kind of start to diminish ever so slightly, right? And in some cases, majorly, because we're just tired. You're exhausted. You just can't be bothered because last night you didn't sleep well. Maybe the night before that you didn't sleep well. Maybe the night before that you didn't sleep well. So the chances of you over consuming the wrong foods, remember, nutrient deficient foods, or those highly processed carbohydrates, massively increases. Because number one, you can't be bothered getting into your kitchen. My kitchen's that way, that's why I'm pointing. Getting into your kitchen and doing your kitchen workout, right? You just get tired. You can't be bothered. You want something that's instant. You want something that's quick and going to give you a bit of energy. And those foods tend to be those low nutrient quality, high fat, high sugar, high starch products that our bodies actually crave and look for when we are tired. So there's an opportunity when you're tired that you're going to overeat the wrong foods. There is an opportunity when you're tired that you're going to, even when you are sitting there, you're going to consume more energy than you probably normally. So there's these mechanisms at play here when you are tired that will actually contribute to weight gain. So think about this. If sleeping poorly puts you at a higher risk of being at a higher weight, would that not mean that sleeping well puts you at a higher risk at being at the right weight? And yes, it absolutely does. Now, there's another thing that happens when you're tired and when you're exhausted, when you're underslept, is that the hormone responsible for managing appetite, that hormone also does not fire and work as well. So that hormone responsible for us just feeling, just feeling hungry when we're actually hungry and not hungry when we're actually not hungry. It's a hormone's job. That hormone is dysregulated. It doesn't work as well because you're tired. So considering that we're working, we've got hormones working against us, we've got desires working against us, we've just got sheer exhaustion working against us, it makes a lot of sense, right? That sleeping well and really protecting and guarding your sleep is a great strategy for weight loss, even weight loss happening now in the next couple of days. So that is strategy number 3, and probably one of my favorites, to be completely frank with you guys, one of my favorite strategies. And I am this person, I always talk about protecting and guarding my sleep, right? Always. So that's strategy number 3. Now, strategy number 4, this is something that all of these things are things that you can start to implement now, right? You can start, if your sleep's not good, you can start to work on that, right? If you're not eating, think you're not eating enough protein, chances are you're not. Most people don't. You can start to increase the protein. If you want to know what those nutrients are, you come and join us on Boost Camp, right? These are things that you can do right now. You can implement right now to put you in a better place before Christmas hits. So strategy number 4 is making sure that every single day you are getting adequate water into you. And I know for some of you, like, are you always banging on about water? I really am. I really am. Why am I always banging on about water? Because the majority of people walking around this planet at any one time are dehydrated. Some people are so severely dehydrated, they have no idea, right? The average human. No, I saw a revised, I remember back in the day, whenever that was, just back that time. We used to talk about 8 cups of water a day or 8 glasses of water a day. That's been revised to now 11.5. But how big's your cup? Let's be honest, how big's your cup? If you really want to know how to sort out your water, I wonder if I've got an image of it. Let me see. I even have an image on my computer that I can show you guys. Give me a second. That's not it. Maybe it's there. No, I don't. I thought I did, but I don't, unfortunately. I can tell you what that formula is. How about that? So the formula to finding out how much water you should be consuming every day, because you can replenish your water every single day. The formula is simple. You take your current weight and you times it by 30. Now we are talking in metric, of course. So let's just say, someone weighs 100 kilos. You time it by 30, that takes you up to 3,000, which is basically 3,000 milliliters, or 3 liters of water is your absolute minimum per day. Anything less than that 3 liters and you are severely dehydrated. Just to drop by 2% is dehydration. But I also say to people, you take that is your absolute minimum level. Let's just say the same person, 100 kilos, right? 100 kilos, the same person. We then take the figure 100 times 35, which takes us up to 3,500 or 3.5 liters. That's actually the goal. That is actually where you always want to go for the higher number, not the lower when it comes to your water, because it's that important. Because when you are dehydrated, your weight loss will slow. It's as simple as that, right? We need the weight loss there, because the water there, because not only does every cell in your body need hydration, and it just feels good, and it's good for your skin and good for your hair and good for your organs, good for bowel movements, all that sort of wonderful stuff. Water also helps in the production of energy. So if you're feeling a little bit flat, drink some more water. Got a headache? Drink some more water. Honestly, it's usually the first thing. Hungry? Are you really? Because you actually might be thirsty instead. We'll often not recognize thirst. We will actually think it's hunger. So drinking enough water every single day, replenishing that stock every single day is so important, using that formula that we've just talked about. And of course, when you are drinking enough fluid, it helps to boost metabolism, and it will help to reduce your appetite as well. So that is strategy number 4. Make sure you're getting the goodness. It is the fountain of youth. It absolutely is. Like I used to be shocking when it comes to how much water I would drink. I was shocking. I probably drunk, maybe, I'm a bit embarrassed to say actually how much water I drank, but it was probably something like 200 mils. So like a cup. Look at that, isn't that cute? It's your little internal optimist Care Bear cup. Yeah, it was probably that a day, if that. And yeah, it's just not enough. We need to make sure we're getting adequate fluid in every single day. Me personally, I'm doing 3 to 4 liters a day, easy. When I go out and do something like, and it's hot and it's humid, which it is today, that will actually go up as well. So number 4 strategy: drink all your fluid. And the number 5, I was going to say the 5th strategy on what you can do right now, today, tomorrow, for the next month coming up. The number 5 strategy that is going to really help is get in movement every single day. Now, when I'm talking about movement, I'm not talking about joining a gym, but you could. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from doing that. We are gym members. Mahey does go to the gym. I toddle along after him some days when I'm feeling like I've got a bit of time. We've also got a little bit of a home gym set up downstairs as well. It's pretty basic, but you know what? We can go down there and do that sort of stuff. But you don't have to join a gym. You don't have to spend lots of money on home gym equipment, because one of the best things that you can do is just to get some form of movement, but just make it consistent every single day. So one of the best strategies, free strategy out there, is, if you can, is go for a walk. Like, just go for a walk. Their walk doesn't have to be hours and hours long, and you're counting steps and 10,000. It doesn't have to be that dramatic or that daunting, because for some people that's quite a daunting prospect. For me, it's a daunting prospect only because I don't have the time. I'm just talking about 20 to 30 minutes a day, right? But that walk must be brisk. So in other words, you should work up a little bit of a sweat. You should lose your breath a little bit. I'm not saying it's a jog if you can and want to. I'm not a jogger. I'm the opposite of a jogger. I'm not a fan, but I love to walk. right? I love to walk. So walking is one of the most simple things we can do. It is good for every, piece of our body. And yes, it will actually have an impact on what happens between now and Christmas with your body, especially for someone who isn't currently doing any movement. So doing some type of movement every single day, whether it be a walk, whether it be yoga. I love yoga. That's another strategy that I use in my overall strategy. Stay fit and healthy and feeling and looking good. Is I love a bit of yoga. Also good for the stress level as well. It's good for flexibility. It's a lovely challenge. So there could be yoga. It could be swimming every day, which is it's actually not a bad idea considering it is heating up down here in the southern hemisphere for sure. Today was a warm one. But there are other things you can do, whether it be aqua aerobics is another great one, whether it be some form of really like out in your garden doing some vigorous gardening. So when you do these types of movement, the key here in this strategy is to make sure that the movement makes you kind of lose your breath a little bit. So it needs to be brisk enough that you just slightly increase your heart rate, just a little bit, just slightly, because it's that briskness is what's going to do. It's not only it's going to help with the natural endorphin rush, right? You're going to release feel good hormones. You're going to feel it. You're going to be ideally, not always, but maybe you're outside, so you're getting some vitamin D, which is really good for you as well. Bit of vitamin D on the skin. But what it's actually doing scientifically inside of you, the things that we can't see, is that it's helping to naturally lower your blood glucose response. Because when you eat, you will get a blood glucose response. Depending on what that food is will determine how much of a spike that glucose is having, right, in your body. So if you're eating a lot of processed, highly refined foods, there's breads and toasts and that sort of stuff and drive-throughs and, et cetera, you're getting a lot of glucose. And that's not ideal. You want to have just a very small little spike after eating, not this great big, Mount Everest-like spike. That's not healthy. That's not good for us. So when you eat, you're going to cause some glucose to be released into your blood because that's what food is. It gets converted into glucose. And a way to help you bring that glucose down, and by the way, the secret to weight loss is managing your blood glucose. That is the secret to weight loss. It is impossible to lose weight when your glucose is high. You've got to manage that glucose, by the way. Boost Camp manages blood glucose. I designed Boost Camp meal plans to be blood glucose stabilizing. So I already got you sorted there. But the other thing it does, the other way it can help to bring that glucose down, of course, nutrition, water. This is all going to bring glucose down, right? Sleep to bring the glucose down. It does, obviously it does. But another great way to help to bring that blood glucose down naturally, so you've got this lovely stable line rather than highs and lows and roller coasters. That's not what you want. Is to do some movement, because they will force your muscles to use up the glucose that's floating around in your blood and your muscles, because that's where the glucose goes first. So it's a natural way to help to bring down that blood glucose score. So you can see where we're going here. All of these strategies, I'm going to see if I can remember all 5. I haven't written them down. Let's see how the brain's going. Strategy number 1, nutrition matters, right? What did we say was the best way to get nutrition into you? You guys remember? That's right. Come join me on Boost Camp. And by the way, I've just had word that the brand new Boost Camp meal plan is now being delivered. It has just gone live. I'm getting the nod. I'm getting the nod. It's gone live a couple minutes ago. So if you are a current member of our December Boost Camp, have a look at your email straight after this. Your meal plan's there. Yay! Let us know what they think. Oh, and please let us know what you think. Please don't let us know what you think. I'm too nervous. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I get really nervous. So every time I release stuff, I get really nervous. Like, oh, I hope they like the food. Honestly, I do not take any of your taste buds for granted. I do not take any of your experiences for granted. I want to give you the best possible every single time I release stuff. So maybe nervous when you said, ask them, no, don't tell what you think. I hope you love it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. How about that? So that is now live. That is number 1 strategy. Nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. You eat the right nutrition, you're going to lose weight. Simple as that. And you're going to get healthy, right? Boost Camp will teach you what that nutrition is. It'll teach you how much to eat, and it'll even teach you when is the best time to eat the stuff as well, right? Keep your blood sugar managed. That was strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, forgotten already. I know that water was in there. That was strategy number 3. Strategy number 2. Oh, strategy number 2, increase and manage your protein intake. It's really important that you're eating enough protein. Do not fear protein. Protein is there to keep you strong. Protein is there to keep you full. Protein is there to look after every single fiber in your body. Prioritize protein, don't fret. Number 3 was water. Make sure you're drinking adequate fluid every single day. Hydration matters. Make sure it's the right amount of water for your body. Strategy number 4, may not be in order, but let's do that anyway, is to manage and protect your sleep. Right? Every human needs between 7 to 9 hours of complete shutdown every single night. It's what we need. Our body needs it to recover from the day that was and to set you up for the days that's coming. So manage, protect, guard, do whatever you have to do to get some good sleep. Goodness me, I love sleeping. And I'm looking forward to sleeping tonight, by the way. And number 5 strategy for how we can lose weight right now before Christmas starts. Number 5 strategy, the 5th strategy, sounds weird. Yeah, the 5th strategy to help you to lose weight between now and Christmas is to make sure every single day you're engaging in some type of brisk movement, 20 to 30 minutes a day, lowering your blood glucose, increasing your endorphins, getting some sunshine if we need to, having a bit of fun, feeling good, looking better. We got this. Yes, it's only 1 month of Christmas, but we got this. So to all my lovely Boost campers, go and have a look at your email now, please. It is ready for you. It's there for you. Bring your meal plan. I'm nervous now. See you guys online. In fact, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to practice what I preach. Me and Mahe are going for a walk straight after this. See you guys soon. Have a great end of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.